Hey, Wellness Connection. It is Amy Welch, and I just wanted to hop on here a few minutes early before our opportunity call. I'm going to live stream it so you guys can catch it in case you don't want to be on Zoom. And I just want to make sure it's in the page. There I am. So you're going to have to wait about 5 minutes before we get started. Hey friends, if you're watching me on the Wellness Connection, you're gonna have to wait 3 more minutes. We are gonna get started promptly at 7:30 for our Plexus Opportunity Vision Casting call. I'm really excited to share with you guys tonight. I'm gonna let people in the waiting room who are gonna watch it live on Zoom, and you guys can also check it out here on the live stream. We are sitting in Texas under a hard freeze warning. So luckily, if we do lose power, last year, after all the snow, we had our generator hardwired into our breaker box. So we should be good to go. I am going to start letting people in. Hello, friends. I'm going to mute everybody. We will get started promptly at 7:30 my time. So in 3 minutes. We're also live streaming this on the Wellness Connection. I hope. I tested it. I think I'm still there. Guys, let me know if you can see me live on the Wellness Connection for those of you that are in there. Hi, friends. We're going to get started here in 2 minutes. I'm letting people in the waiting room, and I will put the PowerPoint slides up so you're not just looking at my face the whole time. And so I'm not looking at my face because when I do these, if I look at my face, I can't keep my hands out of my hair. It's a weird thing so if you ever, I don't know, some people know my secret. Whenever I go live on Facebook, I never watch myself while I'm doing the live. I like cover it up with a piece of paper. So silly. So, hey friends, thanks for being on. Thanks for watching us in the Wellness Connection. We'll get started right on time, and we're going to keep this to 30 minutes tonight. There's Chris, Jamie, letting more people in. You guys feel free to chat if you're on Zoom throughout, and then feel free to comment on the live. I cannot see the live comments right now, but I can go back and I'll check those afterwards. If anyone is in Texas or anywhere else in the South that is not equipped for cold temperatures, I hope you guys are doing good. I know Betty on our team lost power about 3 hours ago. She's in South Texas. So thinking of her, hope she's staying warm. And I know all the Northerners are like, come on, we're under like 3 feet of snow. Suck it up. But you know, our blood's thin down here. So are our walls. Okay, guys, 1 more minute. I tell you what, while we're waiting, I am going to go ahead and I am going to share my screen so you can see this PowerPoint presentation. Oh, there's Holly. I'll let her in. Oh, Nicole, let her in. All right. I love that when I'm sharing my screen, I can still see when people come into the waiting room. I'm going to get started here. I want to start right on time. Let people in the waiting room. Got like 30 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. I do not want the slide to do any transcribing at all. Don't want to do that. Okay, friends, it is 7:30 and we are going to get started right now. Please feel free to chat amongst yourself. If you have any questions, put those in the chat. I will get to them. Or if you're watching on the live stream in the Wellness Connection group, you can also comment. So, tonight's call is talking about the Plexus opportunity. First of all, my name's Amy Welch. I'm a Sapphire ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I wanted to start doing these calls because I am passionate about this industry, but particularly about Plexus Worldwide. And it's something I never wanted. I was a corporate career woman that had a wonderful paying job, and I didn't want anything to do with network marketing. But it has made such a difference in my life personally, for my family's life. So I wanted to start doing these calls to talk to you about why it is different and why you should at least be aware of the opportunity, right? Like you should at least be aware of what you have in front of you, okay? Then you can make a decision whether it's for you or not. But if you don't know, then you don't know what you're saying yes or no to. So before Plexus, I was a corporate executive. I made $103,000. That was my current salary when I left. And I'm also an author. I've written 2 books. That's them on the wall back there. And so before Plexus, I thought, one, I don't need another job. I made great money. I didn't have any time. My daughter at the time was about a year old, and I was a breastfeeding mama. So she was with me all of the time. And I had a 1-hour commute. So I thought, I don't have time for this. I hate sales. It made me feel yucky. Thought there's no way I can ask anyone to buy anything. I had zero knowledge also about, this industry. In fact, I was such a supplement snob. I didn't even take vitamins or probiotics before Plexus. So I thought, there's no way I could share something like that. And then I wasn't even sure it was going to work. I thought everything was a scam. But, nowadays, guys, having a second income, I didn't realize this back then, but having a second income is just smart. Even if you love your job and you never quit, even though I had a great job and I didn't have a lot of time for anything extra, I did have daydreams. And I can remember sitting in my office and daydreaming about how I could find a job that paid that 6 figures, but gave me a little bit more flexibility over my schedule. I actually did not want to be a stay-at-home mom. I actually wanted a career, but I wanted flexibility. I can remember seeing people in the middle of the day, like on the golf course or having lunch. And I thought, what do these people do to get paid to have this sort of time freedom and flexibility? And I can remember distinctly when my job, I kind of had this eye-opening moment that, I was in a budget meeting, which I'd been a million times before. It was a departmental budget meeting. We're going over all the line items, and they were talking about my position as if I wasn't in the room when it came to cuts. And I kind of knew then that, what? I gave my heart and soul to this place for several years. And I'm just a number on a spreadsheet, and they could get rid of me at the drop of a hat. So that's when I really started thinking, man, I got to do something else. But again, network marketing was not it. I thought I was too smart for network marketing, too educated, and that it was a scam, let alone a real job or a career. So we're going to talk tonight, though, how all of my assumptions and biases were incorrect. And we're going to talk about why it's a little bit different and why you should just be open to thinking about, maybe not even now, but later if it's something for you. Because all these pictures you see on the screen now are since I started sharing Plexus. You can see a picture of me on a shopping spree. That's a picture of my husband, my daughter, and my parents in Hawaii. There's a picture of me on stage. They've given me all kinds of big checks. I've got them behind me here. I mean, before Plexus, I only saw big checks on TV with Ed McMahon back in the day. But I share these pictures because in my previous career, as much as I loved it and as much money as I made, I could have, worked on the biggest project, worked all kinds of overtime and done the best thing ever and gotten maybe some verbal accolades. But my bosses never gave me a shopping spree. My bosses never paid for my car. They never sent my parents and my husband and my daughter to Hawaii on vacation. And so that's something about this industry, that you are not limited by what somebody else thinks. My salary in corporate America was limited by my department budget and by my superiors, whether or not they deemed me worthy of a raise, right? Or a promotion. Network marketing levels the playing field. If you want a promotion and you want to make more money, you just go for it and you work for it and you can earn that. If you want the trip to Hawaii, you can make it happen. It's not dependent on somebody else's opinion of you. So I had daydreams. I never, ever, ever, ever thought network marketing would be the vehicle that fulfilled those. In fact, I prayed and prayed and prayed for a way to get out of my commute because I had a 1-hour commute every day. And I kept saying no to Plexus, and I kept praying and praying and praying. And I kept saying no to Plexus. And then I realized it might be the answer to my prayers. But tonight, my goal always is never to convince anyone. Okay. Because if I have to convince you to do Plexus, then I'm always going to have to convince you. And that's not what I'm in this business for. I'm here to show you the vision and the opportunity of what's available to everyone. And then it's up to you to decide if it's something you want to go for, right? Because not every profession is for everybody. But tonight, I just want you to be open while you hear me talk. And I want you to think, if your bank account was full and your calendar was empty, what would your life look like and who could you impact? Okay. Because for me, I had these daydreams of, man, it would be so great if, I could get paid and not have to come to an office, or, well, it sure would be great if I could do X, Y, Z, never realizing that network marketing was the vehicle through which I could make that happen. Because again, I thought, I don't have time to do something like this. I could never ask anyone to buy something. I don't know anything about probiotics, and I'm not even sure the stuff actually works because I haven't even taken it yet. Okay. So just be open to the idea, but I am certainly not here to convince anybody. If you have questions though throughout, put it in the chat. I'll check it at the end. There are plenty of people that are watching, and they can probably answer some of those questions before I even get a chance to check it out. Okay. So what I believe determines your success are 3 things, and it's just 3 areas of belief. And what's cool about that is, man, anybody can learn belief. That's what I love about this. Belief is something that you can build and you can learn. You don't have to have any prior education or knowledge about network marketing or about Plexus to be successful in this business. So you have to have belief in our products. And I can tell you, I'm married to a scientist. And so when I came home and told him we were trying Plexus, he's a professional skeptic. That's what he gets paid to do. And I told him not to tell anybody because I was 99% sure that we were going to get our money back. I didn't think it was going to work. We'd done the research to know the ingredients were actually pretty good and weren't going to hurt us. We just didn't actually think they'd do anything. Okay. But let me tell you that these products help everyone. Okay. Everyone who takes them, they are incredible for gut health, inflammation, blood sugar regulation. That's the core of all of our products. And that's why you see so many testimonies and how Plexus can help so many people. I have an incredible Hashimoto's remission story from the products. My husband, on the other hand, he's on the same regimen. His gout went away, his sinus infections went away, and his cholesterol dropped. It's because all the health issues that most people have nowadays in modern day life are because of those health issues. And Plexus really gets to those health issues. So start looking at these testimonies, and what you see your friends share is true. I can remember when I first started, somebody posted a testimony and said, hey, you should share this with your friend who has migraines. I was like, I don't know that person. How do I know that Plexus actually helped their migraines? They could be lying. Well, I promise you, I've been with Plexus now for 7 years. If you see a testimony from somebody, I don't care who it is or where you saw it, we can track that person down and you can talk to them. Those testimonies are 100% accurate. So you just build your belief in the products. A lot of people say, oh, I cannot share something that I don't have success with. And I thought that too. But then I realized that while I was taking the products to really not be a tired mama, I could help my college roommate that had psoriatic arthritis, and I could help my best friend who had hormonal imbalances. And I had a change of heart. And I realized they could get healthy with me instead of waiting for me to get healthy and then sharing with them. So you may have that change of heart too, right? You also have to have belief in network marketing. And this is what I'm so excited to share with you guys about, because I didn't have belief in the industry. I didn't know what an incredible industry it is. In fact, the wealthiest people in the world, Warren Buffett, Donald Trump, pre-President Trump, don't care who you voted for, but these powerful, rich people, they all invest in network marketing. Morgan Stanley, we are a client of Morgan Stanley. They would not have selected Plexus Worldwide as one of their clients if we were not an incredible company with integrity and a foundation to be here for a very long time. We've been around for over 12 years. Most network marketing companies fail within 3. And so we've been around for over a decade, and we have no signs of slowing down at all. In fact, we're just getting started. So we're a client of Morgan Stanley. And when it comes to network marketing as a business model, it's actually one of the most profitable business models in the business industry, okay? Because you cut out the middleman when your products are not on a shelf, okay? We don't have to pay for marketing and advertising and commercials and pretty flashy bottles because our products don't sit on a shelf. We sell our products by word of mouth. And instead of paying overhead for warehousing and inventory, we pay people to share products. So not only are we spreading health with our products, we're helping people make money by doing the same thing. So companies have choices. Plexus Worldwide just chose this model for their product distribution. It's a consumable product, so people need it every single month. Now, listen, I love supporting my friends that sell things like mascara and leggings and all the other things that are out there, but those have never changed anybody's life. When I have somebody tell me they've had migraines since they were 8 years old and they're 42 now, and they just thought they were always going to have them, and now they no longer suffer for them, that changes somebody's life. And that is what our products do. When I have somebody who, can't afford their groceries, but they get an extra $100 every month so they don't have to stress about it, that changes somebody's life. So our products are that consumable, and people need them. They are life changing. So what do you get though? Oh, I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself. What do you get though with this business? Because a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, it's such a scam. How much money do I have to put down? You actually can start your Plexus business for now. When I started, it was $34.95. Now you can start it for $9.95. This month, you can start it for $2.22. And that comes with a shipping department, customer service department, your website, the entire product line, leveraging a brand. And also it comes with all of our science team. So we have research and development. All of our products are third-party, independently approved, tested for quality control by in an FDA approved facility. They're also tested again once they get to our warehouse. So it is amazing. What I love about network marketing though as an industry is you can condense a 30-year career, okay, into 3 to 5 years, okay? The average person in network marketing, if they stay with their company for 10 years and they don't quit and they work their business consistently, they will reach the top of their company, okay? Right now I'm a sapphire. I will show you how much sapphires make on average. If I stay around for the next 3 years or whenever I make the top of the company, the average salary for my next promotion is over $400,000 a year. That was unheard of in my previous career. I could have worked there for the next 40 years. I could have climbed all the way up to the president's position, and I would not have been making that kind of money, okay? And it probably would have taken 60, 70-hour work weeks. So I love that network marketing gives you the opportunity to make that kind of money if that's what you want, and you don't have to spend 30 years getting to that point. It allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary things. And it's a quick return on your investment. With Plexus, for us, we get paid 5 times a month, and they don't want any obstacles for people to get a paycheck. So if you decide to share today, you're like, you know what, my mom could really use these products, and you share with her today, today's Thursday, and she orders her welcome pack, you could get a paycheck next Friday. You don't have to wait. I can remember in my first job, my first professional job out of graduate school, we got paid once a month. And oh my gosh, did we really have to stretch that? Because, one paycheck a month was hard. Especially, back then we were newlyweds. I was the only one who had a job, and it would have been so nice to get paid weekly like Plexus does. There is room for you at the table with Plexus. I tell you, before I started, I'd worked again in offices and with a lot of men and women, and they're not always really nice, right? Like women, we have this reputation of being kind of petty and not really letting people sit at our table. And so when I came into Plexus, I was still very skeptical, and I thought it was going to be very salesy and very petty, and people were going to be competitive in a mean, nasty way. And boy, I could not have been more wrong. I have never been around more supportive people in my life, people that I don't even know cheering me on, that don't make any money off of me whatsoever. And so if you are looking for community, if you are looking for people that will cheer you on and really celebrate you and be a support system for you, maybe you're someone who doesn't have someone in your corner cheering you on. Man, you can get that with Plexus. I didn't think I needed any more friends with Plexus, but I'm so glad that the Lord knew something that I needed more, because it has just opened up amazing relationships with people. And that comes from our top down. So you also need belief in network marketing, and that it is generational money. In my previous career, once I retired, that's it. Money goes away, right? Hopefully I invest well, or I put into my retirement so I can afford to be retired. But as far as my daughter goes, that she doesn't get any of that. In network marketing, it's different. It's generational impact. So I'm building a legacy for my daughter, meaning I'm creating this organization. So instead of me getting paid for 100% of my own effort, I'm getting paid, 1% of 1,000 people's efforts. Okay. That is not a pyramid. Corporate is a pyramid, where like I was the coordinator, and then I had a manager, and then a supervisor, and then a vice president, and then a president, right? That's a pyramid. Here though, because it is a scatter, or like a scatter chart of how you get paid, when something happens to me, or if I decide to retire, my business with Plexus will continue to give me a paycheck, and I can will that to my daughter. In fact, my husband and I, a couple years ago, we met with a financial advisor, and we put it in our plan that my business gets willed to my daughter when something happens to me. So it's really, really amazing. Network marketing and Plexus Worldwide recognizes their people really well. I can't even tell you how many things in my house have Plexus on them because they've given them as gifts or prizes. I'm talking like blenders. I got a KitchenAid mixer. I've got a gaming chair. I've got all kinds of things. My Amazon Alexa in my other room has got, because they really recognize their people. And it's nice to be rewarded for your effort and your hard work beyond a paycheck. And so that is what network marketing does. So you don't have to have success in network marketing or with Plexus to cast the vision for other people. Okay. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, my friend could really use another stream of income, but I actually haven't made a big paycheck with Plexus, so I don't think I could share it with them yet. That is wrong. All you have to know is the vision of where you can go to get people to go with you. Somebody just a couple weeks ago used the analogy of heaven, and I'm going to use it again. And I'm sorry if you heard me say it a couple weeks ago, but when we talk about getting into heaven, you hear that from people who have not been there. But their belief in heaven is so great that you want to go there too. So you do not have to have been there. You just have to know that you're going there to cast this vision for this opportunity. Now, you also have to have belief in yourself to do network marketing. It's different than a regular job where you show up and someone tells you what to do and you then maybe clock out and go home. You have to have belief in yourself. But what I love about it is that this business is 80% mindset, 20% skill set. And the 20% of those skills you can learn. I knew nothing about network marketing or supplements before Plexus. So most people, though, are not naturals at it. So you actually have to be willing to be a disaster before you're a master. You want to not know everything about Plexus when you first start sharing. That's it. You just share that you're excited about these products. You're excited about what this opportunity could hold. The good news is you don't have to know anything. And that's what I love about it. Okay. Because you have belief in yourself and where you're going. So I love, love, love that it's just that 80% mindset, because you don't have to have it all figured out, right? And this industry is not a lottery ticket. If you want this opportunity at Plexus, I see it so often. People are like, oh man, I made a couple of posts. Nobody wants to buy anything. So it must not be for me. Or oh, I've tried it before and wasn't successful. It must not be for me. Well, listen, anything worth doing has its challenges, right? Think about parenting or relationships, right? Fitness, if you want to get fit, like it has its challenges, or any business has challenges and obstacles. But if you stick with it and you stick with that belief, you will be successful. It's like a toddler learning how to walk. They keep falling down, but for some reason they just keep getting back up because they know they're going to do it. It's not even in their mindset that they're not going to be successful. And so that's the mindset you need to have, and belief in yourself that, you know what? I don't care what Susie from high school thinks when I share about this pink drink, because Susie's not paying my bills. All I know is that I'm going to help people feel better, and I'm going to improve my finances or tuck some away for a rainy day at the same time. And so I really, really love that piece, because, because some just take off with network marketing and some are a little bit slower. And when people see that, they think, oh, well, I must not have what it takes. And that is so not it. Your speed does not determine your success. So for every excuse, though, you can give me for not starting this opportunity, I can show you somebody with the same circumstances who did it. It's all in your mindset, right? I have people who say, oh my gosh, like I'm a single mom. I work full time. I have 3 kids. I do not have time for Plexus. But I can show you someone who says, you know what, I'm a single mom, I work full time, I got 3 kids, and I need Plexus so I can have some flexibility in my schedule. And they are doing it. So it's all in your mindset. So think about if your calendar was empty and your bank account was full, what would you be doing? What would you be doing? Before Plexus, I didn't dream. I did not dream at all. And, back then I was okay with it. I just assumed my husband and I would work in our careers for 40 years. We'd retire. And maybe when we're retired, we might buy a lake house or retire on a lake house or something. That was it. Okay. But once I started this Plexus opportunity, and I really started it in 30 minutes a day, and then I made it an hour every few days. Because again, 1 hour commute, corporate America, baby at home, didn't have a lot of time. But I decided I wanted to see if I could get out of my commute. And I caught on to the vision of Plexus. And I saw how these products help people. And I thought if I could just make enough to get out of my commute while I find something else, that would be great. Well, what happened is that I loved Plexus so much and the money kept being so great, I decided to make it my thing instead of looking for something else. And guess what happened? My bank account got full and my calendar became empty. So as a family, we started to dream again. And I got out of that commute. And when I got out of that commute, I quit being grumpy and angry every time I got home. And because our calendar was empty and the bank account was full, in 2018, my husband decided it would be a great idea if he took a year off of work. He took a leave of absence and we traveled the country in an RV. Guys, that was never, ever a dream of ours. You guys may have big dreams already. That may be amazing. Please know Plexus can be the vehicle through which you can live your dreams, right? Plexus is not only who I am. It is the vehicle through which I touch other people's lives and I improve the future for my family. And we make memories now that were never in our purview. And it's completely changed my daughter's trajectory because I have so many big dreams and I see different things that are possible for her now. So your why for this opportunity should be bigger than you. Okay. Because it is about the impact you're making. And that's where a lot of people get hung up. They're like, oh, like if I could just do this for me, and that'll get you, like me getting out of my commute got me pretty far in the beginning, but then it stalled out. So that kind of selfish why will stall. And you got to have a bigger why. So who could you impact? Okay. And then give it time. You may not be successful overnight. That is okay. Okay. Think of all the things you quit because success didn't come enough. I am the queen of quitting. I tell people now that other than my marriage and Plexus, these are the only two things I've ever been consistent on. Right. I tried professional dancing for a while. I took dance lessons. I quit that. I started doing spin class. I quit that. I was running races for a while. I quit that. Started painting. I quit that. Like I quit so many things. But I saw the vision with Plexus and I'm just too stubborn with this now. I just won't quit because I see how it can help other people. And I've got a vision for my family and for this opportunity now. So be willing to learn and grow and stick with it. And do not compare yourself because there are going to be hurdles. There will be hurdles just like any other job. You know, I've worked in plenty of jobs that, man, it was stressful and there were hurdles and there were projects and there were conflict. Okay. But the hurdles in this job are worth it because you're doing those hurdles for you and not for someone else. You're doing it for schedule freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, flexibility, whatever that looks like for you. There are people who use their Plexus business to, install wells on missions in Africa. There are people who use their Plexus business to pay for their kids' college. There's people who use their Plexus business just to be able to buy manicures and pedicures and not have it come out of the family's budget. You can make it whatever you want. You do not have to make it a full-time career, but it can be the vehicle for whatever your kind of goal is. And I love that, if you won't work as hard on yourself as you do your business, you won't be successful. So man, network marketing really makes you be your best self. I got to tell you, in my previous career, nobody ever talked about personal development. We were too busy like in meetings and, checking emails and like doing the things to ever. Nobody wanted you to grow personally or invest in yourself or go to leadership conferences or read books by John Maxwell or feel how you can like really be your best self. And network marketing absolutely does that. 4 things you have to do to have success. We're going to make it quick. We got about 2 minutes left. You have to share what you love. Okay. You cannot be successful in Plexus if you do not share these products passionately. Here's the cool thing. We are almost $1 billion company. We are debt free, meaning when we moved into a 70,000 square foot brand new facility in Scottsdale, we have 0 debt from that. But we also have a 60-day money back guarantee. So what I like to tell people is if our products did not work, we would be broke with that 60-day money back guarantee, but we are not. So you have to share these products. You also have to then retain people. So you have to actually love people to be in this business. We are not in the business of selling stuff. Okay. If we were here to just sell stuff, we would just post our websites everywhere. Okay. That is not it. In fact, I challenge you to find somebody's website without asking them. Okay. Why? Because we care about you. We want to talk to you. I want to know what your health goals are. I want to know what it would mean to you to not have to take naps all the time. Okay. So you have to care for people and then you will retain them. You have to have this customer service kind of mentality with people that order Plexus from you. And then you have to duplicate. You have to share this opportunity like I am now with other people. And, a lot of people are afraid to share the Plexus opportunity because they don't understand it or they don't have success with it or they're not making a big paycheck. But here's what I like to tell people. Okay. You do not know what your friends are praying for. Most people go to bed at night stressed out over finances and their health. Most marriages end and break up over money and sickness, right? And those are two things that Plexus can help with. If we're not telling people, they don't know. You're making the decision for them by not sharing the opportunity. You're not convincing anybody. You're offering them a solution, and then they get to decide whether it's for them or not. Okay. And then to really be successful in this business, you do have to develop some leadership skills and develop leaders under you. We've got systems for that. We have so much training now from corporate. It is just incredible. Back when I started, we didn't have any of that. So we really have an incredible corporate team, but you really need that leadership. Because you want to inspire people to grow their own businesses with you. And here's the other great thing though. You are not responsible for somebody else's success, nor are they responsible for yours. What I love about the way Plexus is set up is that people who are working with me and order from my website, let's say some of you on here, you're on my team, you guys can promote and make way more money than I ever do. And that's actually celebrated. In most companies, they don't like that, right? But in Plexus Worldwide, we celebrate that. People can surpass the person that brought them into this business, and it is celebrated. So I really, really, really love that. So I just want you to think, if you had a bank account that was full and a calendar that was empty, and you could learn the skills that were 20% of what it takes, but you got to conquer your mindset. Okay. Would you do it? Who could you impact? What would your life look like? Because if you think you can do this business or you think you can't do this business, you're right. Either one is right, because this business is not hard. It is not, you don't have to be a personal trainer. You don't have to be someone educated in science. You don't have to have a mind for gut health or medicine at all. Anyone can do this business if they want to, because if I did it, anyone can do it. I'm not sure there was a bigger skeptic than me. I was kind of rude about it to the person that told me about the business. And here I am. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. These are all a little bit different. So I encourage you to go to my YouTube and check the previous recordings. We are tweaking these every time we do them, trying to get better, trying to improve, and trying to give you guys the information that you want. So I hope something I said tonight stuck with you. And maybe, again, if it's not for you, maybe you thought of somebody that could use that second stream of income. And so I hope if you thought of that someone, you share with them, because you never know what they might be praying for. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I will check the chat really quickly, and then we will jump off of here. There we go. No questions. Thank you, friends. Bye-bye.